What's going on, guys? You're about to watch part 2 of the video of the series, and it's going to be Tim Barth and I, Midwestrc, breaking down the entire breakout chassis build. We go over so much stuff in this video. It actually changed the way that I want to film the video, so things are going to be a lot different from here on out with the rest of this series, because I noticed as I, truth be told, I'm pretty much almost done with the kit. I really needed a lot of help to figure out how to put this together, and now I'm going to kind of backtrack and take you through each set of instructions and, point out each thing that you have to do, circle all the parts, really try to build a really good primer on how to do this, because it is definitely not easy. It's not as easy as building a team kit that you have just in front of you with, the beautiful instructions, trying to figure out what parts you need and how to mount everything together, especially if you've never built a buggy before or something like me. It was just great. And the content that's in here, there's a lot of good RC tips, of course, a lot of good stuff about the breakout chassis itself, some do's, some don'ts, some things that are definitely going to save you some time. And there's even more that we didn't even get in this video that I'll be putting into the rest of the build series. Don't forget to stop over on Tim's channel and check him out. Give him a sub. He's going to be working on some more YouTube content, Midwestrc. And we're just going to get right to it here, guys. Thanks for all that you do for the channel. Please continue to like and subscribe. All feedback and stuff is appreciated. Let's do it. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Dorky and 40 RC channel. Special day, video 2 of the breakout build series here. Ran into a couple roadblocks, and that is why I've got my main man Tim right there somewhere. So Midwestrc, you guys have heard me talk about him on the channel a few times here. Don't forget to stop by his YouTube channel, Midwestrc. Drop him a sub. We're going to be doing some shows and stuff. Hopefully, we've been wanting to get together and do this for a while, and now we are. He's got a Facebook page on here where you can see some of the cars that he's built, that NOPREPRC cars that have won, all kinds of stuff. And he also has an Etsy store where he's got a lot of cool things, including this tow gauge set that I really like. So, Tim, what's going on, man?
Not a whole lot. How are you tonight?
Doing good, brother. Been dodging the rain and all that kind of stuff, working on this baby right here. And you're the expert. Need to talk to you about some things, but tell us a little bit about yourself here.
Been racing RC cars in general for 24 years. Just started the NOPREPRC stuff probably was April of this year, I guess, because we were at P&B right before I got into it. So yeah, it's been challenging. Everybody thinks, oh, you just drive in a straight line, this is easy. This is probably one of the hardest things that I've ever done.
Yeah, there's nothing harder than driving 132 feet at 60 to 70 miles per hour in a straight line.
Yeah.
Which that reminds me, I gotta talk to you about my Futaba.
Uh-oh.
No, good stuff. Good stuff.
Okay,
good stuff.
Okay, good.
So without doing a bunch of crazy math, how many years have you been doing RC, man?
24.
And
Not
like,
that I've done the math or anything.
what were you doing all those years?
When I first started, it was actually my grandpa's the one that got me started into it when I was a kid. I just had a Traxxas Bandit and I was beating it around, having fun. I turned 16, I got my driver's license, and that's when I started racing. Been racing ever since then, pretty much.
You were really big into like the buggy racing, which totally translates to like what we do now.
Yeah, 8 scale, but I did some 10 scale stuff too. So I did a lot of 8 scale nitro buggy racing.
So the tires, the tire prep, the setups, all that kind of stuff, those setup sheets that they give us that people talk about and nobody really uses.
Oh yeah, I have books and books on tracks with all my old setups. So it actually worked out pretty well this year when I went back to race 8 scale in April. I had all my old setup sheets from when I raced it a couple years ago, so I was able to fall back on that and did pretty well. So,
man, that's awesome. I mean, I have, this is really the first time I've ever actually raced. How I got into No Prep was I got my Traxxas Slash last year in February with the intent to start racing with the guys out at the racetrack that, you know, that is local. And then this little thing called COVID happened and the racetrack got shut down. Luckily, No Prep was kind of taken off then. And, you know, before you knew it, a couple months later, we were all out there with our LCG slashes with Hoosier tires on it. And just trying to get that thing down the road. And, you know, here we are now. What else is there to say? It's a great sport. It's a great time. And, you know, now we've got cool toys like this. So we're going to talk and keep building on the breakout chassis here. And, you know, Tim has one of these. When he came to visit me, he ran his personal best, like a 2.15, 2.16, somewhere around there, running the breakout chassis. You know, we've talked about why I wanted it, what I'm putting in it and all that stuff. He's made a lot of little mods to HIDs that, you know, are personal, and some of the stuff he's sharing with me and everything else like that. Basically been starting on this thing, and I can show you where I'm at here. So, I mean, do you think we're pretty much at a good spot where we can just start building on this from right there in those instructions?
Yeah.
So I guess the biggest thing, that the question that I have about it is, if I show you the instructions again, what I'm trying to do is build back and forth, get as much of the chassis put together and stuff as I can, and then start strapping on everything from the associated kit, which it kind of looks right after here that's pretty much what I'm going to have to get to, that I'm going to have to actually break into that B6 kit and start putting some of this stuff together.
Yeah, that's after you get that front bulkhead pieces right there built. Yeah, that would be the next step.
So real quick, just to verify. So this piece here on the bumper, is that right? Or is that supposed to go underneath there? The photos and the instructions were kind of...
You're right.
Okay.
So yeah, that's right. Because that's going to butt up to the front of your carbon fiber chassis right there and then bolt up on top of the chassis. So that bottom little kick up will be on level with the bottom of the chassis.
Yeah. And then the one thing that I was kind of like confused by, I kept on getting the front and the back mixed up, is this if they call this a servo adapter, but it's on the back of the car. Is that where the waterfall brace is going to connect or something like that?
Yep, that's exactly where the waterfall brace is. It's actually an associated servo mount. So yeah,
so they sourced that. So
yeah,
that's pretty cool. So we're going to get into that. And I guess what I ended up doing was just using some replacement screws that I have that are shorter to kind of go into those spots where that ESC tray was supposed to go. But the one question I do have is, there's these extra countersunk holes right behind there in the front where my thumb is. It looks like there's supposed to be a standoff there, but
nope.
They're just extra, huh?
That is for their lower side body mounts. They have, I made my own. I don't have them on my car now, but it's so you can put body mounts on the side to keep the body from bowing in right there by your tires.
So I got a little secret. I actually ordered some of those.
I figured.
Yeah.
You ordered everything for the thing.
Yeah. Well, I didn't get them yet. I ordered them actually today. I was on their website today. And I ordered, I got to try it, even though I know you're against it, but I want to try the slipper eliminator. So I got one.
Oh, I'm not against it. I have one. I haven't used it yet.
You just haven't used it?
Yeah.
So I got the team one, and then I got the Exotech And then I got the Exotech for the DR10. So I really want the one that I've been seeing this one guy run. It's like the One Up Racing. It's like two pieces that are like the same size of the spur gear, and it locks together, and it looks really cool.
I think that's the associated one.
No, the associated one will go into the actual. I'd have to look it up and see what brand it is. I keep on. It wasn't One Up Racing because theirs is the Exotech. It was. I can't remember which one it was. We'll have to look it up, and if I find out which one it is, we'll talk about it later, or put a link down there or something.
Yeah, definitely.
So as far as the next step goes, bringing that back up here, gotchas are here just because these pictures, I don't know why they didn't. More pictures is always better. So to me, this looks pretty straightforward, but you kind of read it a little bit, and you know, it talks about using the ball studs, and it's like, well, I don't even see ball studs on here yet.
The ball studs are from the associated kit.
So it says using the ball studs from the kit, install those onto the shock tower with the provided. So basically you put the ball studs up here, wherever, in whatever position you want.
You put them down there, see where the 4 screws are that hold the tower to the, there you go. See that slot right there beside it?
Right.
Yep. That's where they go.
So then that's going to basically just help set your position however you want to.
Yeah, that's camber. I run mine all the way up.
All the way up.
All the way.
There's the secrets. The tolerances are tight.
Super tight, which is okay. I mean, is a good thing.
Yeah.
But it's the only problem I ran into it was in the back with all those where you mount your C and D blocks and on your transmission and all that. It would put it in a bind because they were so tight. So I had to drill them out the next size out, which we can cover. I mean, that's not a bad thing that it's got tight tolerances.
Yeah, the tolerances on the kit, I brought that up in the first video, and I know, like, I had to really try to get some of this. I got carbon fiber dust all over me. You know, they're definitely freshly cut kits, so it's pretty nice that.
Yeah, mine still had dust like on it.
Yeah, there's dust in the bags. I got it on my hand still from the kit and everything else.
Yeah.
So I think one thing I want to go over, just because, you know, I know you might not be available for me all the time, and this might help with the next parts of the build. So I'm sitting here looking through this associated manual, and what I wanted to do for everybody is to try to make it a little bit clearer, like where you even start. Like, we know we have to build. So if we look at the associated manual, one thing I wanted to cover is where to actually start, because I know we're going to build the shocks and the transmission and all that kind of stuff, but it seems like step 1, bag 1, we're not going to do. Step 2, it doesn't
do. You'll use those ball studs. I would rob all the ball studs out of that. In the little, you see the little washer there that says 1 millimeter.
Yeah.
You're going to want those too.
Okay. So we're going to want a little bit out of step 2 out of bag 2. Bag 2, step 1, we're not going to do anything. Nothing in this. Nothing on the chassis. Now, everything for the kit, because they come with their own servo, so we're not going to use anything at all on this page, would we?
Nope.
Awesome.
No, you won't use the you might use the ball stud, the ball stud again.
Okay.
And maybe pull out that 1 millimeter washer just to have it extra.
You're talking about the ball stud washer over here that goes on that? Okay.
Yeah.
Won't need the ring because that'll go on the horn, because we got our own servo saver built into the 5-star kit, which we'll get into. And then they got their own mount and everything else. Maybe we're going to need the washers again.
You might need those screws too. I don't remember if I used the kit screws for the servo to mount it to the. Oh, I don't remember if I used them or not. Mine was a complete buggy. I mean, it was like buggy.
You just ripped everything off of it.
Just took it all apart. Yeah.
Yeah. And then obviously we're gonna take the arms out.
Yep, you're gonna want the arms.
Start building those. We're not gonna need stuff like the front anti-roll bar links or anything like that. You won't even use
that hinge pin brace either.
I noticed that they have their own type of setup on how that connects. So we're not going to need hardly any of this stuff. We're not going to.
You're going to need the hinge pins. Right?
The hinge pins.
Yep.
All right, so we're going to need those. We're not going to use any of this, and I'm pretty sure if I switch back to their instructions, it tells us. So this is where it tells us what we need to install the servo. But, you know, if you look down here, there's like nothing here at all. You've got the arms. I think the turnbuckles come with the kit, with the kit, right? Like we don't even have to build turnbuckles.
You'll have to put the associated ends on the turnbuckles that come with the breakout kit.
Nice.
What else was I going to say about that?
I'll say, do they give measurements?
No, I can give you the measurements off of mine. But...
So you don't, okay. So the measurements are going to be important.
That's where that Barth Racing Concepts toe gauge would come in handy.
Oh man.
Oh,
good plug.
Shameless plug.
That's right here on the Etsy store, everybody. So if you're going to build your kits and stuff, you're going to want something like that right there to help you get it done. And then battery tray, I got to figure that out still.
You could do that last. That could be the last thing you do.
Yeah, because that's going to take some figuring out. Let's see. Where did we? I'm trying to figure out. Servo attached to mid bumper.
You're going to go back up to the associated kit view. You're going to want to go down. See the top shock. The shock parts, right there. You're gonna want that, and you're gonna want that bushing.
So, the nuts, the screws, and this plate, the front shot, not the cover.
Nope, you won't need the cover at all. You just need the screws and those bushings.
The screws and the bushings. Okay.
I do not know what the shock tower nut is.
That's a new thing that they have to keep dirt out.
You might just have to use regular M3 screws.
Yeah. Yeah. See, and it's kind of hard to again, it's like, I don't know why they didn't take some pictures that were more, I don't know. And I appreciate this picture here on the right, but you don't really get nothing out of this one. They kind of need to be down a little bit so you can kind of see. I mean, I guess if you've built buggies, you know what you're looking at, but for a lot of people, this will be the first time.
I just built I shouldn't even say what car it is, but there was no instructions. So it was, luckily I've been doing it a while and I got it. It was actually from my brother, but I mean, I would hate to hand that kit to somebody that's never built anything. There's no way. So I can be thankful for what these instructions are. They at least give you some pointers.
Right.
They're better than anything that I've seen so far out there. The car's only really been out a couple months, so I'm sure they're going to go through revisions of the instructions.
Yeah.
So it's just.
Well, they've already done nice stuff, and if you don't want to buy the kit, they've included in the instructions entire associated list of everything that you need. They just don't tell you where to put it, but they do have
setup sheet.
Yeah, they've got some setup sheets and stuff like that,
and honestly, I don't know how much of that I actually have on my car, because my car was a drag car, just the short course chassis before, and it was working good. So I literally just pulled the stuff off of mine and put it onto this. And
yeah, but this stuff here is pretty important, because if you scroll down through, the one thing about this buggy kit is that it comes with all kinds of extra things that you can do. like for here, for instance, here is like the caster block inserts,
Yeah.
which are these like little white things right here, and they're kind of confusing. You got to look at these tabs and find out like how many tabs they have and whether they're up or down. Well, you know, which one do I use? 0%, negative, 5, positive 5. But if you look at their setup sheet, they're telling you to go ahead and use 5. And, you know, I've seen in here with spacing. Now I see this now on this, this setup sheet that you have, you know, 0 here, 0 here.
But that last one you pointed out, you don't even use that. That's the scroll. That's the steering rack for a buggy. So I don't even know why that's on there.
Which part?
Where it said ball stud spacing, 0 millimeters.
Like right here?
Yeah. So that's a steering rack for the buggy. So I don't know why it's on there.
Yeah, maybe they just didn't want to white it out.
Ball stud spacing right here, 1 millimeter. That's actually the spacing. That's why I told you to pull the spacers out of the buggy kit for the front shock tower, because you'll space that out 1 millimeter.
Right here. Oh, wait a minute. What we're looking at?
The slot.
Yeah, and that'll be pointing towards the front of the buggy.
Correct.
Or the front of the car.
Yep.
So they've got like all the rear stuff on here too. I would assume you would do probably the same thing with the rear and all that kind of stuff.
Yes, it's a rear ball stud. The rear ball stud spacing is 2 millimeter. Ball stud spacing is 2 millimeter. Camber leg spacing is 2 millimeter. Yeah, I did all that online.
Wow, here's something interested. 2K diff fluid in the front shocks.
I don't do that. I've tried it and I was not a fan.
Wow, they're really trying to. And then here's the eyelets. I've noticed that there's different, you know, sizes. You get like 3 or 4 different eyelet sizes inside the kit.
It'd be interesting to know whose setup this was. It's probably Todd's.
Yeah, it would have to be Todd. I mean, he's the guy that designed it. So there's a lot of stuff that we'll cover inside the actual setup, but we know we're going to have to build everything here. We're going to need these complete, you know, assemblies that are go on the arms. And then we'll be stealing these rear arms. That's pretty much it. And then, of course, everybody's favorite, we'll be building the transmission. Of course, this kit, I can't remember. No, it actually does not come with both of them. The builder's kit does. So we'll be building this diff, which is the regular planetary diff, not the ball differential.
Does the builder's kit come with both? I don't think it does. I think it comes with a ball diff.
I thought it came with both of them, actually.
That would have been something they just added. I know it comes with both cases.
Yeah. Well, maybe it came with both transmissions. I can't remember. So we'll be doing all this. We probably won't need it. Well, no, we will need this thing.
Yep, you'll use that.
So there's that.
There's some secrets to go along with that back there.
Yeah.
Or you got a Dremel. I'll fill you in on that one.
Yeah, we'll get that taken care of. That's for sure. And
don't use that sway bar. You won't use them.
Right, because they come with their own.
Right.
And of course the diff. Like, will we still have to do this with the diff height and everything?
Yep, I run the 0 down. Like it was the diff, the most space up to keep the axles somewhat straight. So
that would be the kit setup, 3 up, 0 down.
Yeah.
All right. And then the kit does come with its own chassis braces. So we won't be using that. And then it comes with its own motor plate and all that kind of stuff. So we're not going to use that. Of course, we're going to have to set up our slipper and all that kind of crap.
There's a trick to this too. Scroll back up a little bit.
To the slipper and transmission.
Transmission on the motor plate here. The kit comes with the the breakout kit comes with a really nice carbon fiber one. But you see these tabs on this gear cover right there. I cut those off and use them as spacers on the back side of the carbon transmission motor plate, because if you don't, there's little gaps back there and everything won't line up right. So you could use a little washer, or I just cut the little ears off because they were the right size thickness already. So I just use them as washers. On
this lay down motor plate, there's things that you cut off?
No, on the plastic guard.
This.
Yes. There's little tabs. You'll see them when you pull that out.
Okay, so there's tabs. Actually one for each screw. You just can only see one right here.
Right. And okay. It's just the top screws, the top two screws.
Okay.
So it's not that bad.
Yeah, well, that makes sense since they kind of have it there and it's being used as a spacer already.
Yeah.
So that's cool. That would have done that wrong. So let's see. Again, bushings, screws.
That's it from that.
Don't have to worry about wings and spacers or anything like that. I don't really think there's going to be anything else. Well, shocks and the rear end. So again, here's the rear end and all that stuff. We'll be using all this.
Yeah.
And then turnbuckles, everybody's favorite.
Yeah.
So
the fronts, you won't be able to go by much on the fronts. The rears, you will be able to. So I can send you the measurements offline as long as you have your ball studs in the same spot I do. That'll get you close.
Yeah. Yeah, that's always a pain in the neck.
It is. The easiest way that I can tell anybody that's doing ball studs with no experience or like with no measurements to go off of is I will put a little bit of grease or something on the end of the turnbuckle, and I'll run it in, and then I stop. I don't have one up here to show anybody, but I stop at the edge of the threads. Like when the threads stop and it goes smooth, I stop there. And then I do the same thing with the other side. So they're both in equal amounts. And then when you put it on the car, you have to adjust them out more than likely. But then it's adjusting them out equally. You won't have one ball cup on further than the other one.
So this is something that, I mean, I know when I never got into this stuff at all, but I have set different toe and, camber and all that stuff on the DR10. But I think I just got lucky, like with how you turn them. So that way you're turning them the same way on like each side. Like what's the trick to assembling the ball studs? Like, cause if you've never built a turnbuckle before, it's got threads on the end, but the threads are in reverse, right? Of each other.
I think one side's in reverse.
One side.
Yeah, they are reverse of each other.
Right. And so you get a little turnbuckle wrench, and if you want to move it out, you
have to go.
You kind of want it to be, we want it to be the same all around the car.
If you look at your turnbuckles, there's a little notch on the turnbuckle. And when I build a car, any of my cars, I always put that notch to the left-hand side of the car. So it would be the driver's side. If I'm looking at it from the back.
So even on like the other side, all notches go on the inside.
Towards the left-hand side, yeah.
Oh, so if you have...
So you'll have one that's this way and one that's... They'll both point to the same side.
Okay.
And it doesn't...
And that lets you use the wrench the same way on all four sides on every turnbuckle.
Yep.
And whether it goes out or in, who knows?
Yeah, it's all. I mean, because some guys do those notches all to the right hand side. So it's just, I mean, that's preference of which way you're used to adjusting them. But if you do it all, just make sure all of them go to one side of the car. That way you don't have. I've had people build cars. I fix cars that they would have them mixed up. So this side of the car, you'd go one way. The other side of the car, you'd go the same way, but it went the wrong way.
Right.
So so it was twice the work to try to figure it out.
Yeah. And that's what you want to get away from because, you know, turning them isn't easy if you've never adjusted them before, because if I can give you pop them off.
I can give you a trick for that too if you want it.
What's the trick?
A little bit of lubrication and a drill. You put your turnbuckle in the drill, and then you take your Allen wrench and stick it. I think those ball cups have a hole in the end.
Right, right.
And so you take your Allen wrench. You start it by hand first of all.
Right. Yeah.
And then you take your Allen wrench and you stick it through that hole, and then you drill just slowly in and out. So you're making it easy. You're working it in there. You're working that lubrication in there.
All right. So that way, when you want to adjust them,
they don't pop off because they're so dang tight.
Right. And that's how mine are.
That's frustrating.
Because I used the drill technique to get them on, but it was just to get them on. Like I chucked them up. I chucked the turnbuckle up. I started the thread and then I just spun them on and that was it. Like I didn't like bring it in and out and in and out and in and out, which it's associated plastic. So you could probably do that a few times and still have a lot of wiggle room left. So, and I mean, these are the kind of things that are important when you're dealing with a 2-second car. Like, oh, you 2-second car, man, you know? So Fast and Furious reference. I don't think it was important anyway. Oh, there went Lucky. Yeah, I got one of those. I think Associated sells like a ball, not a ball stud, but a turnbuckle, like
Chuck.
It's something like that, but hell, I could never get the thing to work right. Like it just like they didn't fit. Like it's this big round thing, and the turnbuckle's like this little thing, and it just is like spinning around in there. So I didn't do that. But yeah, my DR10, my steering is trimmed perfectly. It goes perfectly straight, but I do notice that about 70-80 feet down the track now, I am starting to get like a little bit of a right drift. So I might need to do some adjustment, maybe kick the left one out a little bit to kind of help, you know, but you don't want to do anything. But, you know, when you're running these cars this hard and this fast, these little adjustments are the difference between people running 2.5s and people running 1.9s. It's not just all power. Like it's all about this kind of stuff.
I would say power is probably, I mean, it helps, but it's like not, I don't know. I'm not going to say it's not because it is, but I've seen some fast cars on a 4.5. So it's,
yeah, I mean, I've said it before and I say it again. I mean, I've won 95% of my races going A to B.
Yeah, you got to get a car that goes straight.
You know, like, but then like in our race, when I made it to the semifinals, then I didn't have enough. You know, my car is just right behind yours and everybody else's and stuff. So, all right. So yeah, we talked about turnbuckles. So we know we're going to have to make those and get those the right lengths and everything to fit the chassis. Then it comes to shocks. We're obviously going to use everything here. I know you run the different lengths in the front and the back. I think I'm going to run 21s all around. So
actually, I looked at my setup sheet. I have the 21s in the back of mine too.
Okay. So good to know. So basically, guys, if you want to, you'll need to buy another set of this part number right here. So that way you can have 21s all around on the car. It seems like everybody is doing that. The eyelets, it looks like we're going to be using the short ones, 0 millimeters.
In the back.
In the front, we're going to be using a different one.
I think the longer ones are in the, well, see, these have super long. My car's only got 2 millimeters, I think, in the front.
Yeah, you get a lot of stuff in this box.
Yeah,
I can't wait to actually build a buggy. It's going to be fun.
Yeah, I don't think you use that 4 millimeter one. And
the other thing is that you get the awesome stuff in here. So not only do you get the threaded bodies, but you also get X-rings in there and the better pistons.
Something new. That's definitely something new.
Yeah.
The pistons aren't. The X-rings, I think the other ones we used to get the orange, which they were still good O-rings, but I don't think.
DR10 came with the DR10 kit that I built came with the regular O-rings and stuff. I have X-rings, and you need different stuff that goes with the X-rings too. You need these different spacers, these V2 spacers to go with the X-rings. And I know that they have a kit that you can actually get all this stuff in if you wanted to convert your shocks over on your DR10. So, and I do use the green slime. I don't know if you're a green slime fan or not.
I'm a MILWAUKEE slime fan, but hey, it's all the same stuff.
Yeah.
So whatever you can get. My local shop don't carry green slime. They carry one up stuff.
So then shock fluids, those are kind of going to be all over the place. I really don't know what I'm going to do. I'm probably going to stick to what I'm doing
front,
now.
65 rear. That's what you're going to stick to?
No.
No, seriously. That's what I'm running.
80, 65?
80 front, 65 rear.
Yeah. So I'm doing the complete opposite right now. 40, 80, 40 in the front. I got that droopy front, but it seems like, especially,
I thought you went soft. Oh, you had like diff fluid in the back.
I had like 100K or something like that. I had like hot glue in there.
I don't know how that even worked.
You know what's funny though? If you look at that Instagram picture of Chiefs, I was thinking about this, how his front shocks, and I don't know if it's just
they look long.
Right. And I
was like, man, what are those?
Right. They're long and they're not vertical at all. They're like all the way in on top and all the way out on the bottom. And, I'm thinking of like, that's that streetcar stuff crossing over. So that might be something that might have to fool around with. So this thing also comes with different length shock spring cups.
Yeah, I use the 5 millimeter one.
Yeah, I think that's just the standard size that I'll use.
It's like the in-between.
And then that's just showing you how to attach them, which some of that's going to be true. I like how it came with
that on the other kits, that right there, where it has the stud for the lower shock mount. That's like an aftermarket thing.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Usually we just have those on the top of the.
Yeah. Which I like that idea, because then you don't have to try to get an Allen wrench in there. You just get a little nut driver in there. Pop it off.
Oh, that's super nice. You don't have to. I see what you're saying, because mine goes all the way through. So this has actually the screw on the end now. And all you do is just, that's cool. I like that. That's a nice little touch. And then, I mean, we're not going to use any of this stuff. I think that's pretty much it out of the kit.
Yeah, like maybe some of the screws.
Yeah.
Something.
Definitely not going to be the body or the wing.
Nope.
So
don't even come with tires or wheels anyway, does it?
Yeah. So no, not at all. So let's go back to the breakout kit and we'll just kind of go through it again. And we know we're going to do the front end here and stuff. You explain this part here. Any gotchas here in the front?
scroll back up a little bit. I had an issue with this. I don't know if it was because I think my car was one of the very first, if not, like from what Todd said, it was one of the very first. I had to Dremel a little bit off the shock tower mount, but I don't know if they fixed that or not.
So you're saying up here?
Yeah, where the tower mounts to these silver mounts.
Right.
Just make sure they fit all the way back against that when you put those two screws in there.
So you're talking about so this should all be flush right here.
Yeah, mine wasn't, like it was put in a bind, so I had to Dremel some of that aluminum out, which I told them about it, so they probably fixed it.
And then, oh, there it goes. Those are the turnbuckles that are in there.
Yep.
Using your supplied ball caps.
And we are talking, I think somebody's talking with RC Speed Secrets about having a kit made for this car for titanium. I mean, they're already titanium. They're Lunsfords in the front, but RC Speed Secrets has those cool colors and stuff. So
yeah, it's good that they didn't skip out on any of the extra stuff. So that's pretty good.
No, everything that, I mean, they went above and beyond, I think.
Yeah, even their 3D printed parts out of this, like
yeah, they're not normal. I mean, they're like something you would get off of Shapeways.
Yeah, it's
like
some kind of
quality,
some kind of PC blend or something like that. Really nice. Then this just mounts the two pieces together, and these are. It comes with the stars. I got the actual battery plate like you did, so I'm not going to worry about that. I ran the stars
for a while, but I had to. For me, I cut the tips off. I was nervous about the sharp edges going through that Maxim's battery. So
I think a lot of people said that too, that they at least like drembled them down so they weren't so pointy.
Because they are pointy.
Yeah, it's a nice touch though. Like it's pretty cool.
I like what Tim Smith did with his. I don't know if you've seen his pictures of his car, but he like outlined all that stuff on the box and everything. So it like pops.
Oh, he did it. He painted the carbon.
Yeah, he just the outside edges of the F.
People do that with their quads too. But you better get to painting.
No, I'm good. Yeah, I got that. I'm not that OCD yet.
Right.
I'm sure I'll crash it before.
So it actually comes with a Traxxas part.
Yeah, sway bars. Leaks are Traxxas. And like I said, there's a secret to that there.
Yeah, I'll probably be getting to that sometime tomorrow afternoon.
Okay. Well, when you do,
it's gonna be a long.
Message me or call me.
It's gonna be a long day tomorrow. Didn't get as much done today as I wanted to, but that's okay. And then
there you can see those spacers right there in that picture. That's the transmission plate right there. See, mine didn't come with those spacers.
Yeah, use 2 of the 0.62 spacers. Right there they are, number 4. Top screws on motor plate. 1 between braces on transmission.
Mine didn't come with that.
Looks like there's 3. No,
there's the bottom one that just mounts up to the transmission half.
Yeah, it says they come with 3, so maybe they just give maybe they give you an extra one in case you lose it or break it. So 2 top screws on motor plate and one between braces on transmission.
Yeah, one on the waterfall brakes in the back.
There's a completely these pictures.
It's not in that picture.
Yeah. All right, and then this is mounting up the rear body mount. It looks like.
Yeah.
There's a block that comes with that for support.
It's like Delron block, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, they left the L out. Left the L out. And then, of course, I'm not using the body mount holders. I'm using my own. Then we get into all of the craziness. Who would have thought that the most complicated thing on here
It is too.
would be the wheelie bar. But when you're trying to like mate flat surfaces together and not like an injection molded plastic piece or whatever, this is kind of like what you get. So this is a lot can go wrong here, it looks like.
And you have the aluminum parts. So
I've got the metal parts. Yeah.
You're a step ahead of me. I still have the printed stuff.
Well, then I also got shocks to put on there, and there's nowhere here where it tells you where or how to put the shocks on.
Trial and error, my friend. That's why when I first started running mine, I ran a hard JPH bar. I didn't run the breakout bar for a while until I got it figured out.
My car right now, at least, I don't know how this one will behave, but you know, it doesnesn't hit the bar.
Mine doesn't easy.
Only if it catches a headwind. I don't mind just installing it rigid like for a while. The one thing we talked about, I did show in the first video, was that standoff kit. And those standoffs are for the wheelie bar.
Yeah.
Where were the other ones supposed to go? Just the wheelie bar?
Yeah.
You use like one or two of them?
I use 4 of mine. So
I think they give you all metal now, but for some reason they threw a plastic one in there. I don't know why.
Do they give you all metal? Mine were not all metal. Mine were nylon.
I didn't look. I'm just thinking, like, I thought that, like, when I was looking online at that standoff kit, that it says replace all your black ones. So maybe there still is one in there. So then, of course, I'm going to have to modify this.
Yeah, I had to.
Because I want the Traxxas. Are you running the wheel? You're running the wheels on the outside, right? Yeah. No, on the inside?
I run them on the inside because if you hit the bar, the tire will actually fall off.
Yeah, I lost one.
So if I run them on the inside, then the tire stays is still there. I think it's a 25 millimeter standoff.
Oh, we went through this. We went through this before. I showed them in the first video. They're longer than that. I think they're like 35 or something.
No, I'm talking about to put the Traxxas wheels on the inside
of
the bar.
Okay. So
yeah,
you're going to need, something I didn't order.
You don't have any from what size do we use for the quad? 23?
I'm sure I have something.
I bet you have something you can cut down because I piece mine together. It's not perfect, but it works.
I'm sure I have something, but that's pretty much it when it comes to the instructions and everything. Yeah, I don't know how much more building I'm going to do tonight because I'm kind of tired and stuff from sitting down here.
You just had like a 4-hour nap, my friend.
No, it wasn't that long. It was only like an hour. I'm an old man. I like to take naps.
I'm not old yet. I still take naps. So it's okay.
Wheelie bar. Looks like right here's where I'll be starting. Bag number 6. This is where the shock mount will go.
Yeah, you ordered the aftermarket shock mount too, didn't you? For the wheelie bar? That tall one? The printed piece?
I don't think so.
I didn't
know that they had something else like that.
Yeah, they have a tall one.
A taller rear?
Yeah, for the top. If you look at Tim Smith's car, it's got it. I don't have it yet.
Huh.
I don't have any. My car's stock, like as stock as stock can be. I don't have any of the upgrades.
Well, it runs good stock, so you know if it isn't broke, don't fix it.
The only thing I'm going to do is I'm going to order a couple front bumpers and that little printed piece just in case, because that could end the day pretty quick. I enjoy helping people, man. I enjoy doing that almost sometimes more than racing.
Yeah, helping people is definitely what I enjoy it a lot better now that like the RC community on my YouTube stuff is a lot more involved and receptive and stuff than the FPV community was, which is funny because the RC community has been around forever. I know No Prep hasn't been around that long, but there's still a lot of people out there that know a lot more than I do. But generally everybody is great. The comments, the feedback, the likes, you know, the view time, everything. The FPV people were really, you know, I've got some good friends and good viewers that like that kind of content and liked my content, but you know, I think it's just because there was well, you worked in drones for a while. I mean, everybody thought that they were going to be like a professional drone pilot and retire. Like, and then everybody's dreams got smashed to bits.
Smashed.
Yeah. And then they all wanted to be YouTube superstars, and that didn't happen either. You know, you can only watch so many flight videos, and nobody really likes to watch my flight by videos anyway, because I fly like a wussy. So
fly like a wussy. You fly like a maniac.
Well, there's people that go a lot crazier. I just try to fly. I just don't like, we've had this discussion. I would rather build a new quad than have to tear one apart and fix it. Nothing makes me crazier when a wire breaks off and I can't get to it by jamming my soldering iron in there. Oh man.
So just send me your old ones. I'll fix them.
I got a lot of stuff you can play with. That's for sure, man alive. But, anyway, guys, we just wanted to say thanks for stopping by the channel. Don't forget to check out all Tim's stuff and everything. And if you made it this long, you know, we love you. Anything else to say, Tim?
No, just thanks everybody for tuning in, and have a good night.
Yeah. And we'll be back with something maybe a little bit more on the regular. So
yeah, that would be awesome.
Talk to you guys later.